Welcome to another episode of Hazardous Verbal Waste. I am your host, Shiro Chen. Today is Saturday, October 5th, 2019. Got a lot of really cool stuff to go over this week, so why don't we just get right down to it, shall we? In YuGiOh news, Konami has been announcing quite a few new sets recently. Two of them that caught my eye is the Legendary Duelist Magical Hero set. This is a booster set that is going to include quite a few support cards for Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, including a new fusion monster, the Dark Magicians. It's a 2800 attack, has the ability to draw a card when a spell or trap card is activated, and if you draw another spell or trap with that effect, you can set it directly to the field and then activate it that same turn if it's a card you can normally use at that time, even if it's your opponent's turn. Also has the effect of special summoning to the field from your hand, deck, or graveyard both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. So you might want to stock up on 3 of these. That way you can just keep bringing it back again and again and again. The other set that caught my eye is the new Speed Duel set, which is Trials of the Kingdom. Now, this set is going to bring a few new support cards for Bones, especially in the form of Zombie Master. It's also going to bring the new skill card Terror from the Deep for Mako Tsunami decks. And it's going to bring Cocoon of Ultra Evolution for those Weevil Underwood decks. I am really excited to see these new sets so that I can increase the number of viable Speed Duel decks that I have, and tweak my Dark Magician Girl deck just a little bit. That's pretty much all I have for YuGiOh news this week. On to the next segment. In Pokemon news, Pokemon Go update hints at huge new crossover storyline. Pokemon Go developer Niantic has unveiled the game's brand new loading screen for autumn. As with past loading screens, the image features 1 or 2 potential clues about what to expect from Pokemon Go in the future. One thing that isn't up for debate is that Niantic clearly has big plans for the whole Team Rocket storyline. The loading screen contains an abundance of shadow Pokemon as the trainer makes a move to confront Team Rocket leader Giovanni. However, as Comic Book points out, there could be even more to the story than meets the eye. The gym in the background is modeled after the famous Viridian City gym in the Pokemon animated series. Likewise, the animated series is getting ready to introduce a new character called Go, which suggests that a major crossover is in the works. Now, speaking of crossovers, there's a big possibility we'll see some sort of promotion between Pokemon Go and upcoming Nintendo Switch exclusives Sword and Shield. According to a new post on Reddit, Pokemon Sword and Shield developer Game Freak will team up with Pokemon Go developer Niantic for a special surprise. As longtime fans will know, the new set of Pokemon games takes place in the Galar region, which is loosely based on the UK. Based on data discovered within the Pokemon Go game files, Galarian variations of existing Pokemon will appear in Pokemon Go, including some sneak peeks at a Galarian Ponyta. This means that at the very least, Pokemon Go fans can expect to encounter Galarian Weezing, Galarian Zigzagoon, and Galarian Linoone. It's unclear when the crossover will take place, but it's likely to happen close to Sword and Shield's November 15th launch. The same leak also suggests that Pokemon Go developer Niantic will introduce a new quest called a Colossal Discovery. It's possible this ties into Sword and Shield's new Dynamaxing feature. Dynamaxing transforms pocket monsters into huge beasts with more powerful special moves. The Nintendo Switch game will also have more trainer customization options, including the ability to change hairstyles and wear makeup. That's pretty much all we have for our Pokemon news this week. On to the next segment. In Magic the Gathering news, Magic Arena is holding an event this weekend where you can win 1 copy of every standard card. Wizards of the Coast is looking to start their 1.0 launch of Magic Arena off right. and part of that initiative involves a new event that's straight to the point in terms of its nomenclature, Win Every Card Challenge. Seeped in Standard, currently the only way to play Arena until Historic arrives, the event allows you to use every card currently in the game, again in Standard, to build any possible deck. From there, you'll duke it out with other players in a one-time tournament fashion, up to 12 wins and 2 losses. If you lose, you're out of the event forever. There's no takebacks or redos. You get the reward tier, and that's it. The event will run from October 5th at 8 p.m. Pacific Time through October 7th at 8 a.m. Pacific Time. So Saturday night through Monday morning. It'll be a best of one format as is customary with Arena, so bring your A game. The most notable rewards are 1 copy of every card in the newest set, Throne of Eldraine, for 11 wins, and 1 copy of every card in Standard, Guilds of Ravnica, Ravnica Allegiance, War of the Spark, M20, and Throne of Eldraine for 12 wins. I don't suspect a lot of people will get that 12-win reward, but it's there, and even 0 wins will net you a sleeve and a card, so you may as well participate. Although you can swap decks between matches, and thus losses, I think a lot of people will be bringing their A-game decks, and possibly even their B-game decks. That's all we have for Magic the Gathering news this week. On to the next segment. In movie news, 2 different Matrix movies are in the works at Warner Brothers. In August, fans of the Matrix franchise got some major news with the announcement that a 4th Matrix movie is now in development, with Lana Wachowski both writing and directing the film, and, to make things even sweeter, stars Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss are returning to reprise their roles of Neo and Trinity. For some fans, though, that exciting news called into question the status of writer Zach Penn's Matrix project. On Saturday, Penn took to social media to offer a bit of clarification about his Matrix project, however, and it turns out that there is not 1, but 2 Matrix movies in development. On Twitter, Penn took the time to clarify the 2 Matrix projects' situation, as well as explain that neither his nor Wachowski's films are reboots. They are instead set at different times within the Matrix universe. People keep asking, so let me clarify, there are 2 different Matrix projects at WB, Penn wrote. I wrote one set earlier in the timeline of the Matrix universe. Lana Wachowski is directing a sequel that I did not work on, but can't wait to see. Neither of them are reboots, end quote. Now, this isn't the first time Penn has indicated that his Matrix project isn't a reboot. Almost 2 years ago to the day, Penn shared on Twitter that he was working on something Matrix-related, but that it wasn't a reboot or a continuation. At that time, he also explained that there wasn't really anything that could be discussed since the script was still in development. It would seem that there's still not a lot that Penn can discuss about the project, though the explanation that his project takes place earlier in the timeline is a good piece of information. As for Wachowski's Matrix 4, earlier this week it was reported that Warner Brothers is currently seeking an actor to play a younger version of Reeves' Neo in the film. According to Variety, reporter Justin Kroll, in an appearance on Robbie Fox's My Mom's Basement podcast, the young actor will join Neo and Trinity. The film will also bring back the same artists who helped shape the world of the first Matrix movie, presumably to replicate the look and feel of the Matrix as much as possible. This is really exciting news for any Matrix fans out there, myself included. I honestly can't wait to see both of these films and to see how the prequel movie fits into the currently established Matrix timeline. And I also can't wait to see Matrix 4 just to see how things have progressed since Neo defeated Agent Smith. That's pretty much all I have for movie news this week. On to the next segment. In television news, the Orville Season 3 will be a Hulu exclusive. Now, you'll have to forget about watching the Orville's 3rd season on Fox. Hulu has announced that it will offer Season 3 of the sci-fi series as an exclusive in the US, with new episodes premiering in late 2020. Creator and star Seth MacFarlane was fairly blunt about the reason for the move. The more ambitious production, particularly special effects according to Variety, and resulting weight was going to be challenging for Fox. This ensures that you can still see the Orville while accommodating its needs. It's a mixed outcome for MacFarlane and crew. Although it does ensure that you'll see the Orville in some form, the implication was that it might not have survived otherwise. It also shunts the production to an online-only service where the audience might be smaller. In a sense, this is a test of the appeal of online video services. You could soon find out whether fans of a recent hit show will follow it online or stick to conventional TV due to costs or familiarity. I personally am very excited to see a third season of The Orville, and being such a big fan of the show itself and the stars of the show, I'm willing to wait in the extra months to see a third season, and I already subscribe to Hulu, as well as watch through my computer, so this really doesn't affect me. Let me know in the comments, either through online, through YouTube, or email, what you think about this change for this awesome show. That's pretty much all I have for television news this week. On to the final thoughts. Before we get to the final thoughts, here's a few words from a couple of other shows you might find entertaining.
Hey, I'm Chen.
And I'm James.
We're from A Bloody Mess Podcast, the badly researched true crime podcast.
We straddle the boundaries between documentary and comedy, and our aim is to leave you laughing and thinking, wow, I didn't know that.
So once you're done with this podcast, add us to your download lists and give us a go. Have a nice day.
Bye.
There's been a murder of podcast.
Hello! Do you listen to podcasts? Did you seriously just give me that look? I knew you listened to podcasts, but do you listen to the Bare Naked Ladies? Wait, don't hit fast forward. Yes, there's a band out there called Bare Naked Ladies. They are quirky, fun, comedic, and excellent musicians. If you love alternative 90s music with a little jazz, rap, and country mixed in at different times, then you've got to try this band out. And we will lead you through a journey of getting to love this band. We have 3 or 4 people with different levels of bare naked experience. We have Aaron, who's our music expert that breaks down each song. We will try to be informative, but also, we're all friends, so we like to have as much fun as possible. If you are a moderate fan of BNL, then you'll find new experiences and information. If you're a BNL fanatic like me, then I bet you too will find a song that is a deep dive that you never knew of. We sometimes have guests after the first letter. Oh, did I not mention that? We are Bare Naked ABCs, and the ABCs represents that we discuss the songs alphabetically. So come try us out on all platforms where podcasts are downloaded. Bare Naked ABCs. And no, we are not nude during the recordings.
Bare Naked. Bare Naked. Bare Naked. ABCs.
Hello, future listeners. We are Historical AF. I'm Ashley.
I'm Keena.
And I'm Natalie.
We are 2 librarians and a historian bringing the funny, weird, spooky, and morbid historical nuggets you never knew you needed in your ear holes every Sunday.
And once a month, we bring you extra AF episodes full of your stories and history in the news.
And we do this while hitting the giggle water and gracing the world with our foul mouths and wit.
So if you love to laugh and you like history, true crime, and the paranormal, then we are the podcast for you, and your girls can't wait for you to join us.
You can find us on all major podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. For a full list of ways to listen, go to historicalafpodcast.wordpress.com. And while you're there, you can check out the photos that accompany each episode.
Yeah, bye. We'll see you soon. I don't know. That'll probably scare them away.
Yeah.
Probably.
Come to us.
Come to the dark side. We have vodka.
And cookies.
Hell yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Well, folks, here we are at the end of yet another episode of Hazardous Verbal Waste. I hope you've enjoyed the show and the topics that I've covered today. If you have any ideas on a topic that you would like to see covered in a future episode, or if you have any comments or concerns that you might have on anything that I've covered in this episode or a previous episode, there are multiple ways for you to get a hold of me. You can email me directly, hazardousverbal@gmail.com. You can use the contact form on the Contact Us page of my website, hazardousverbal.com. You can also contact me through any of the various social media platforms that I have accounts on. I do believe I have links to those on the website. Or you can leave a voice message through Skype. The Skype ID is Ichimoto1. I really look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. And if you send me a voice message, or if you record a message and then email it to me, I'll be happy to play it on a future episode of the show. Just a few bits of housekeeping. Unfortunately, it seems that there is a small snag with the starting of the Kickstarter campaign. I'm hoping to have that resolved and have the Kickstarter campaign active by the end of the week. Or end of next week, I should say. I also don't want to get too prematurely excited, but there is a possibility of a new sponsor for the show. I'll make sure to have details available for you once that particular agreement is settled. Unfortunately, that's pretty much all I have for this week. Until next time, this is Shiro-chan, signing off. Peace.